is here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I'm your host, Conrad Cushman, being joined tonight by the man in blue. He is the New York Inferno representative. I don't know what you want me to call you.
Yeah, there you go.
Top dog. top dog in the building. And we also have my co-host from Clash of the Podcast, Sean Hubbard. This is the whole EP Dub family, so we appreciate everybody. If you guys are here, do us a favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe to our channels. Sean's channel is also in the description. It should be. If not, I'm going to post it in the chat right now. And yeah, just make sure you're in here showing love. Like I said, share the link with a friend. Help spread the word. We do Clash of the Podcast every Monday, live at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Me and Derek do AEW Dynamite reviews Wednesday after AEW Dynamite, all right here on Everything Pro Wrestling. And sometimes there's specials like this Thursday. I was just on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly's channel, and we talked a little Survivor Series. So make sure you guys show some love. Mustard! Mustard on the beat. No. All right, let me stop. We're going to talk a little AEW Full Gear tonight. I'm interested to hear everybody's thoughts, like honest, open thoughts with this show, because I've seen a lot of like engagement with AEW. I've been studying a lot, even just listening to people like, well, what do you think makes it better? I haven't heard people really give good answers to like what makes it better. And AEW, you see these weird things like you can't fill up a building for Dynamite, but then you get 10,000 tonight. Just weird. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen a company where it's like, I don't want to see your weekly show, but I want to see your pay-per-view.
It is weird.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know, guys. You tell me, because the fans are the ones who would know better than anybody else.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That can't really pinpoint what the situation would be with that. Like,
the situation is what it's gonna be. Is how I feel. Like, yeah, if that's how you feel, if that's how you're gonna roll, I mean, do it. Go for it. Sean, how did you feel about the build up to this show?
The build up was solid. You know what I'm saying? I think there's always going to be naysayers and people who say, oh, it could have been better. But I thought that they did a good job. I think every match had some intrigue. I was eager and anticipating watching this show. How I felt about the show, we'll get to in a minute. But as far as the build up, I thought they did a solid job. Respect.
Okay. Derek, how'd you feel build up, man? Like, we've been watching the Dynamites. Like, do you think they did a good job? Okay, like
I think they did an okay job with the build. Like, I feel like there could have been more. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. But I think they could have delivered it a lot better than what it was.
It seems like people love the beginning and ending of stories at pay-per-views, but they don't like the how did we get there from this week to that week to another week. It's just odd, you know what I mean? To see how they do it. Yeah. And then you get some, like, sometimes you get like booking to where you're like, if you would have just did this instead, but it's a hindsight thing too, where you're like, hindsight.
Mm-hmm. 2020.
Yeah, and then you do weird things that are like, I'm going to use air quotes here, like WWE tropes, like using cars, things like that. But then some people say, don't do that. Some people say wrestle more. Some people say wrestle less. I don't know. I'm exhausted as a fan is what I'm trying to tell everybody and trying to figure out what the problem. Back in the day when you were like, what was the problem with WWE like in 2019? Well, you could have put the title on Shinsuke Nakamura. You could have did this. You could have did that. Boom, 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 boom. You have answers. With AEW, I don't have any answers. I don't know what to tell you what to do to make this better. I don't. They have a great amount of talent. I don't want to hear anybody say like, oh, their talent is all garbage. Well, who do they fire and pick up then? Tell me. I got the checkmate each time you say something. Then tell me who to hire. Who should they hire?
Yeah,
BCW, like TNA, you can't take everybody.
Right.
I've said it before, Derek Conrad, and I'll say it again. I believe that AEW has the best bell-to-bell product in the industry today.
Yeah,
I stand on business when I say that. I've said it on our show. I've said it here on you guys' show. I say it on my social media. AEW has the best in-ring product, bell to bell, in the industry today. But that's not all it takes to sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? I'm an AEW supporter, so it's hard for me to even articulate my most raw feelings because it's going to come across as hatred when the truth is I love AEW, but there are some glaring holes.
But Sean, you can criticize AEW. My issue is bad faith criticism where I'm like, dude, all right, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Person X hates AEW, and I could tell. Here's why. You never say anything good. Or you have a bias that's in there that can be pointed out, and people are like, well, and I get it. I tell everybody this too. I don't think there's anything that's like 100% fair. Where you're like, I don't have any bias. Lies. Everybody's got a bias with something when it comes to doing this.
Right.
So, and there's people who I respect that try to like not put their bias into it. I get it, but there's always a little bit of bias. In my opinion.
I appreciate you greenlighting me on that. So I'll just say this and then we can get into the show. Whatever's next, you guys lead, I'll follow. But okay, so me saying that I believe it's the best bell-to-bell product in the industry today, okay, so that gives me carte blanche to say whatever else I need to say. So with that being said, I think it needs work. I have some ideas. They may come across corny, a little cliche, a little WWE even, but them being the best bell-to-bell product in the game today is a major accomplishment, but clearly there's something missing. And I think I know what might be missing, but do we want to go there? We can talk about that
that might be a show. That might be a whole episode.
Right. And I don't want to veer us off track, but I just, when I saw the show tonight, I was just like, ooh, like I just wish this and I wish that and I wish this and I wish that.
Let's go through it. I'll give my shout outs real quick to people who have joined us in the chat. XG Dub in the house. Appreciate you. That must have been in the middle of the show. Matt Lopez says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a good Saturday. Captain Planet, I told you. Told you, can't trust that guy. Clown says, evening, everybody. What's good, Clown? I hope you enjoyed that GCW show today. Had a little Ricky Starks showing up.
Nice.
Figured out he could wrestle, I guess, after 6 months. He was like, I'll show up. Why not?
Right.
And I'm like, well, maybe Tony should call him. He's in town for a show. That wasn't following though, right? GCW. Just saying. I don't want to make Effie mad. I'm just saying. Deanna said pre-show headlining match was just for Derek. No BS. Paul White, just for him only. Well, I loved it. You better be glad I don't have my soundboard queued up right now.
Only thing I don't understand how his knees got so bad, and I'm not being funny.
Oh,
I know he's 7'3" and 500 pounds, but I mean he's been 7'3" and 500 pounds his whole life.
What sports did you play when you were growing up?
I wish I had played football, but I was all city in baseball and basketball.
I'm a basketball player. I will tell you the worst thing probably on my body from basketball, the knees.
Really?
Yes. The knees are what hurts. That's the only injury I think I ever had to where I was like, oh, I better wear a brace for a little. I double knee knock somebody on like in practice.
Okay, but at the same time, like you're not knock kneed though. And again, I'm saying this with all genuineness.
Well, Derek will tell you, I also will not take any risk to where if I think I'm going to get messed up, I'm not going to do it because I'm like, this isn't the NBA, so I'm not going to do that.
Right.
All I'm going to say, brothers, is that watching Paul White walk, and again, I mean this with all sincerity, this is not me being funny. I'm being dead serious. It really bothers me to see him walk.
Yeah.
It's rough. Yeah.
It's tough. Shout out to Deanna, who was also in the chat.
Deanna.
Let's see here. We got Rob in the house who yelled mustard.
Y'all got
at the show.
Y'all got such a big fight. Look at this turnout at midnight on us going into a Sunday. Look at you guys.
Hey, we appreciate everybody who wants to come and talk about the show.
Right.
We'll get into that. I'm going to read Clown's thing here since we had brought it up. Ricky was backstage at Full Gear. Interesting. Ricky was speaking some heat during his run, looking like Lex Luger entering the mall today for GCW. Had the Louis Vuitton bag, like he just was shopping. I like it. Smart. He's probably like, just give me the bag and that's it. I'm out. Let's talk about this show, though. Let's talk about Full Gear. We built up to this. This is one of their, should we say premiere? It was one of their big four at one point in time. Something that had a lot of focus in on it. We know look at who they have here. This was a celebrity kind of, not celebrity. It was a who's who of who can drive this show and maybe get some interest. You got Golden Globe Emmy Award winner Paul Walter Hauser. You have Renee Paquette, RJ City, Jeff Jarrett. I didn't mind them as the pre-show panel. I just wanted to give them some props real quick. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on them.
No, it is what it is.
I know all three of us are better than RJ City. That's what I know.
No, dude, I totally disagree with. I love RJ. Have you ever watched RJ on Sunday mornings with AEW?
No.
I queue it up usually for my Monday mornings. It's great because he runs through, and I think it's a class kind of for the wrestlers. Camera's on you. You have to cut a promo with me, but there's no script. He knows what he's going to say, but he prompts you to talk a lot. And he says stupid things so that you could play off of it so you'll look good every time. I think RJ's a genius. I like him.
I think all three of us are better than RJ City.
Wow.
I'm standing on business.
Wow.
I think you plug Derek, Conrad, or Sean into that spot, and you have a better product.
Harsh, man. I love RJ, man. Shout out to RJ.
Love is a big word, brother.
No, dude, I'm saying I think as a talent, I think he's very undervalued.
I hear you, but I feel the passion all the way in New York, brother. He
wrote that story with Tony Storm, Mariah. Man, I got to give him his credit where credit's due.
Fair enough.
We started off with Deonna Purrazzo and Anna Jay in 0 Hour. I thought this was a tough one to call in the beginning of this one because you got Deonna Purrazzo who's trying to start this new group with Taya Valkyrie. It's not really coming together like I think it would. And then you got Anna Jay who just left for Stardom, and she's getting rave reviews for her improvement in the ring.
Right.
So it's like, who do you give this one to? They ended up going with Anna Jay. She hit like a reversal she hit a flash pin after the armbar got cranked back too far. Anna Jay wins. Good for her. Sean, anything on this match?
I mean, it was a solid match. I think you're right about the little crew that they have going. It's not really flowing, in my opinion. But, I mean, I don't know if that's a Deonna Purrazzo thing or a Valkyrie thing, but it's not really flowing for me. I think the right person won. Anna Jay is about to go off and venture and do some things, maybe give her some momentum. Unfortunately, Deonna Purrazzo, who is a stellar talent in the industry, is kind of fledgling and a little kind of like, mediocrity here in AEW. So
yeah, do you think she would have been better off keeping the same gimmick that she kind of had in TNA, or has that ran its course? Because I felt like towards the end of TNA, even it was like, oh.
I think sometimes the grass is greener or looks greener, but it isn't always what it is. I think sometimes people don't realize that maybe where they are is best. TNA is not one of the top 2 organizations in America, but Purrazzo worked over there. She hasn't worked in AEW.
I see people saying they did Deonna dirty. I think that's Deanna in the chat. I don't think it was done dirty on purpose. I think Deanna. What I'm trying to say is Deonna. I'm going to mix this up. Deonna Purrazzo. She was in TNA, but she had reached all the levels, and she probably was like, "Well, I would love to get more pay if I'm going to be doing this." Well, you got to go to WWE or AEW. She's been to WWE twice. I guess I'll try it over here. You know what I mean?
Not mad at her at all. I wish things worked out better for her. You guys tell me. I don't think her AEW run has been that stellar.
No, I agree. I think that she would benefit if they had like a tag team championship. Like I feel like that's the spot they would like to have them in, but there's no tag title. So what are we doing here? Is this just fodder? We'll leave it at that. I know she's going back to school and stuff, so hey, hold it down. We find out that we have a New Japan show coming up, Wrestle Dynasty. So make sure you guys are checking that out. That'll be the night after Wrestle Kingdom. But there is an International Women's Cup. We found out who the representatives for CMLL is going to be. And tonight we found out who's representing Ring of Honor. We do have Billy Starks, Red Velvet, Layla Hirsch, and Athena will be in it. So it looks like there'll be a 4-way match to determine who represents there. I was fine with all 4 choices.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We stand in agreement 100%.
Seems like the right thing. I still think that we're going to get to that Athena-Billy Starks match. We'll see.
And you should be proud of me, too. You should be proud of me because I'm starting to see what you see in Athena.
Yes. Why is she not on the show? She's the draw for Ring of Honor. Stop this.
Right. I'm starting to see what you said. It took me some time, guys, but I'm starting to get it.
She was also someone who was like, you messed up in how you booked her in other places too, where it was like, yeah, she should have beat Asuka. And I think her never beating Asuka hurt her and it followed her.
Yeah.
And now she's kind of got like this is the first refresh you get to do where it's like, no one remembers that. Just come over here and do your thing. Okay.
It took a reign, like a forever reign, to get it done, but she's getting it done.
Yes. Moving on. AEW talks about how they're going to be broadcasting simulcasts with streaming on Max. The first show is going to be happening. It's going to be AEW Fight for the Fallen Wednesday, January 1st in Asheville, North Carolina. Usually the show has like donations and proceeds that'll end up going to the people in Asheville who just had to deal with some horrific weather. So hopefully that'll end up being used to like build homes, maybe businesses, things like that. I always appreciate these shows when Tony does it. I mean, I think it's something pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good favor.
Totally. For the purpose, yeah, but I don't understand the simulcast.
Yeah. Yes. And yes, Rob, I did forget. That's an insider thing that I just realized that I forgot to do something I was asked to do. Take care of that for me, sir. I owe you. We get a 4-way here on the pre-show. I love this. This might be my favorite like 0-hour match in a minute. Dante Martin, the Beast Mortos Commander, Buddy Matthews. I just have to comment on a couple things. Commander's rope walk was flawless. He hit that, and then, bro, he did the Spaceman plancha. Tony Khan. I know there's not a lot of room to add people. I know how you've been viewing Commander. Like, you give him a win or two here, and then you're like, all right, now you got to take the L. Put this man on Ring of Honor. Give him a little push. He deserves it. Like, he shows up every week and delivers, in my opinion. Like, good for him. He didn't win this match. Surprise, surprise. It turned out that Buddy Matthews won with the stomp. I know that Derek was impressed. Oh, and I complain a lot about spots in matches. The Tower of Doom and the 9 count sliding in, which we saw way too much of tonight, I think, too. You have to give credit when they did the little lawn dart spot, but someone was in the corner and it was like a shoulder check. And I was like, dude, thank you. Something different in 3 ways, 4 ways. It doesn't have to be clothesline, roll out the ring. All right, it's just us two now. Here's our moment. Go down, roll out the ring. I can't stand it, but that's just me.
What a revolutionary idea.
Derek, any thoughts? Any hope for Buddy Matthews? Anything here from this?
Well, you know me. I always have the high hopes for the dark side of the force. Always. I just want them to get Buddy Matthews in the right spot because I think he deserves that.
House of Black or Buddy Matthews?
House of Black.
All right. Let's be honest here. All right. Sean, your thoughts?
I like Buddy Matthews. I like the House of Black. I also like Dante Martin, but I digress. I think the right guy won, and I'm happy he won. I think it should lead to better opportunity, but I don't know. A lot of pre-show appearances for BM.
Yeah, and Matt just brought up Commander gave Brian Cage a great showing for the TV title 3 weeks ago. I'm telling you. T-Ferg, what's good? Appreciate you. We get Paul White coming out. He walks out the Rizzler. Listen, I thought that these guys were gonna like get a little bit of something here. I did not know they were gonna be this over for this big boom AJ and QT Marshall. Sean's of higher status on TikTok than me. Sean, have you seen these guys? Like, did you know who they were before AEW? Were you like, oh yeah, I know the Costco guys?
Unfortunately, I did. It's just another one of those like, why are we not more famous than these guys? They're funny, They just they parlayed that into what they're doing now. Like it's just social media stuff. It's kind of like Jake and Logan Paul on a much smaller scale, but they're doing their thing.
Yeah, they review Costco foods basically, and it's kind of short, quick content. Boom or doom. They try foods, and that's what they say, and it's what they do, right? It worked. Here. Can I go back to my criticisms of AEW? You can't say AEW do more things to get casual fans and be mainstream than they do this, and then I hear complaining. I'm like, which one is it, guys? Which one? Right. You get what you're sending mixed signals, and then they're like, I don't know what you want. I'm confused. Let's just try a bunch of different things and make you mad on an episode of Dynamite. This is why this happens. Because you don't have a clear vision of what you want. So I don't know. The Rizzler was over, though. I ain't gonna front.
The Rizzler was what?
The Rizzler was over. They loved that coming out. They love this whole thing. Props to QT Marshall for carrying this. Like, he probably put it all together and did it. But dude, Big Justice hits a spear. They hit the power boom. See what I did there? See what I did there for them? Power boom and business.
That's why you're the best in the business.
Yeah, big dubs here. I mean, good for them. Like I said, it got people in the building. They drew over 10K. I can't be like too mad.
Nah. Gotta take it for what it's worth.
Mercedes tells Camille to watch her match from the back tonight. Camille kind of got the boot, so she won't be out there with her during her match. For the record, for people who are like, they're treating Camille so bad. They're setting Camille up to put the beat down on her. Yeah. Just hold your. I don't know if she's gonna be champion, but she's gonna eventually beat her up probably. Yeah. So just wait. Right. And even then, maybe they're like, nah, she ain't it. Some people think that. I saw a lot of people saying that now. Like, I watched NWA. I don't think so. And I was just like, we'll see.
Yeah, but I think who she was in NWA would be it. I don't know what I'm seeing right now though.
Right. Let me see here. Shout out to Jesse from the Pro Wrestler Shoot. He wrote, meh. I don't know if that's about the Rizzler. The people won't go for that. That was a load of BS. Props to the kids for getting to live out a dream. Let's see here. Tokyo said, was this the worst pay-per-view of 2024? I will not say that.
I don't know if I go that far.
I wouldn't.
What?
You're making face.
People
see it. They heard the.
I wasn't pleased with what I saw this evening, gentlemen.
Even that still wasn't terrible. I personally liked it. I personally liked Wrestle Dream more. You were there though. There's a difference in those feelings. Yeah. Who Camille was in the NWA would be the champion in AEW.
Precisely my point, Emily Z.
Right. What's good, Sick? Sick joining us on the Twitch side of things. Appreciate you. All right, let's get into the main card. Oh, by the way, they played November Rain again. If you don't know, I have to educate people real quick too. This is what me and Sean do often. ECW used this video package for November to Remember from 1995 until the last show. So I want you to know that that's what they did. I don't know if Paul Heyman paid for it. I'm not going to say that, but I know that they use this all the time. So let it rock. All right. So I know some people, this song's old. Why is this on here? That's what they do.
Who cares?
Who cares how you feel? All right. Tag team 4-way. Private Party, Kings of the Black Throne, the Outrunners, and the Acclaimed. Gentlemen, quick thoughts on this match. There was a lot going on in this. There were a lot of different feelings. Everybody kind of got a special entrance. Private Party had the girls with the bottle service. Not my lane. Probably more of Sean's lane for you guys who don't know Sean.
Back in the day, long time ago.
Kings of the Black Throne. Probably, I don't know if that's more of a Derek scene or not, but Derek likes the goth stuff, so there you go. You get that. The Outrunners coming out with the 80s music into the 4x3 like they show. I thought something happened to the camera, and then I was like, oh, they did that on purpose. I'm so silly for not even realizing it. They're flexing. Cool, you get that. And then you got the Acclaimed rapping. This is what interests me. I get vibes of Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, Rockers, 1991. Not the turn yet, but I'm feeling the, You're getting on my nerves. I'm so tired of you, Marty. You can't do anything right. Max Caster spit the rap, and usually it's everybody loves the Acclaim, but he said everybody loves the best wrestler alive. And then when he threw the mic, Bowens didn't catch it. Throughout the match, there was a tag. Bowens is like, I have a pen. Why did you tag? And they're just arguing with each other. Then they're going for finishers, and Max got caught with the gin and juice, and Private Party walked out with the belts. I like it. I thought it was well done.
I mean, Max Caster's a jerk, and I love it. I see what's coming down the pike, gentlemen. I just hope they do it right.
I will agree.
Yeah.
Because they can screw it up. I hope they don't. Just get it right.
Right.
Hold on. He said quit snitching. He already ran away with the money. It's over. He didn't even pay people who work for him. He ain't gonna pay up now. It's too late.
Right.
It was part of the show.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna get heat for this. Probably. Maybe. Undecided. But I did not appreciate the fact that this whole thing with the best wrestler alive thing with Max. Like, stop, bro. Stop. You're a good wrestler.
It's a gimmick, bro.
I get it, but
what's he supposed to say? I suck. Now buy my T-shirt.
See, that's what I've noticed about Derek, man. Like Derek, see, just like with Chris Jericho, like you're like, oh, why does he talk like that? He's an idiot. He's being an idiot on purpose. Max Caster is clearly not the best wrestler alive in the world, but it's like he's being a jerk by saying that. That's what makes you love him. Like you take things very literal, my brother.
I do because because that podcast that he was on. I'm like, hold on, bro. I'm gonna need you to relax. You're good, but you ain't that great.
Come on now, bro.
I'll take Bowen over Max any day.
We'll see, bro. Like I said, I think they're gonna separate them, and we're gonna see who's really got it going on.
I'm willing to bet that Bowen is gonna be better, bro.
I don't think Bowens can talk as good as Max Caster, though.
They're Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. I've been saying this since day one.
Yeah.
Max Caster's clearly Road Dogg. Is he the best in the ring? No, but he can do the moves and he can do his thing. Is Bowens like some great Saviant on the mic? Like, oh, thank you for handing it to me, Punk style coming right now. No, but he's a great wrestler. He delivers the moves better than Max, I think. Together, peanut butter and jelly. Separately,
what you're saying is a reason for them to stay together.
Maybe that's the story. We don't know yet, but I'm getting Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty vibes. I like that they can't get on the same track. You're missing the tags. It's just simple little things. They don't tell stories. Yes, the hell they do. You just don't listen. You just don't like the way they tell the stories. Say that. Don't say they don't tell stories, though. That's dumb.
Because they do tell stories. But
I didn't sit through 10 minutes of November Rain to hear they don't tell stories. Right. All right?
Yeah, they tell stories. You do have to pay attention and listen to what the direction is and what they're saying. They do tell the stories. You're just used to said stories.
Yeah, Cray's asking this. He says Full Gear was Collision. AEW needs a reboot after World's End. I don't know what they could do. So welcome to our world, my friend. Go the Lucha Underground way. You want luchadors coming down in spaceships? Are people going to go for that on TV? I love Lucha Underground, but I don't know if would you go for that, Sean?
I agree with half of what he said. Full Gear was like, you know what? I take that. I don't agree with anything, Craig. Craig, appreciate you, bro. But no, we're not going to say Collision. But I will say this, though. I think he's on the right track. Full Gear gave me Dynamite vibes, bro. I don't believe in the whole Lucha Underground thing. But Full Gear did give me Dynamite vibes.
I'm giving whoever's in this chat and my panelists until the end of this show, because I better hear some. I got ideas, at least one or two. Like, just give me.
I do have ideas. And once again, the best in-ring product, bell to bell, in the industry. That's the biggest compliment I can give.
Criticism is not hate, though. I don't think either of you two hate AEW.
I don't.
WWE, I've got a lot of questions amongst the three of us.
Yes.
But
Right.
and I shouldn't say hate.
Right.
You're going to be surprised when we talk on Clash, I promise you, especially about SmackDown. You're going to be like,
Gotcha.
oh, wow, Conrad. But I'm also going to probably have some other things to say, too. But that's my whole point. Like, come with real criticism. So just think, Cray, I'm putting it on you. I think Jesse said something here. Hold on. My thing with AEW is I'm just not invested at the moment. They have shining moments like Mox, Swerve, but nothing major is keeping me caring. I can't really get behind Darby being the savior of AEW. Darby's a Pacific Northwest guy, and I love him, but he's just not that dude. Why? Because of I want to get into like the weight thing. Like, is it because he's not big?
Well, who would you put out to be?
This goes to my classic example. I'm going to give you two people. Me and my dad had this argument a long time ago, and there's just two ways of thinking. And he obviously was on like team old school, Vinny Mac. I'm like, you have two people. Great Khali. You see what he does in ring. You see how he moves. I'm talking Khali like 07, 08. And you have Rey Mysterio. You see how he moves. You see what the masks he sells. Who are you putting the world title on?
Split the difference.
With?
Eddie Guerrero. Edge. Split the difference. I didn't believe in Rey, and I didn't believe in Khali.
I'm saying you have both there. Who are you more likely? If I said these are the two people, your boss says these are the two people. Who are you putting?
Two options only.
Yeah,
like either one of the. Then it would be Rey.
That was my point. But the old school people will definitely tell you Khali. It's not believable if Rey's the champ. And I'm like, but he sells masks. What else do you want him to do? He can't just get bigger. He can't just
right.
Now. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm going back into, let me see here. 6 said wrestling's like the rap game. You got to say you're the best. If you don't believe you are, then why are you doing it? But I digress. That's a fact. Clown had one. Heyman got away with it because he was saying it was background ambient music to say. So yeah, he always said no one has an entrance music, but I just happen to play Sandman every time Sandman comes out.
That's hilarious.
His father was a great lawyer, for the record, if you didn't know that. Sorry, still disappointed in Jermaine. You don't know the rap game, you don't know what he's talking about, but I know. Jesse said, why is it on me to give them ideas? Let's flip that the other way. Why is it on the fans to give them crap then? Like, come on. Can't that go that way too? Why are you giving me garbage that don't say anything? It doesn't, you know what I mean? You can't just be like, hey, you suck. All right, well, what do you want me to do? Oh. Stop sucking. All right. See ya.
I have some ideas, and I'm trying to read Derek's face. I think Derek has ideas too. I have some ideas. But it's probably gonna piss you off.
I just want to tell people that in the other worlds, you can't just do something bad for 3 weeks somewhere else, and then all is forgiven because, well, that was cool. It's all, none of that was a problem now. It's not true though. That's my whole point to this. People are saying
my reaction, like for example, right? My reaction when CM Punk came out on Friday. My exact reaction was, that was dope. WWE still sucks, but that was dope. That's my reaction.
You heard what I said. They got me to care. That might even be the title of Clash this week.
There you go.
Not feeling Mox and OC right now. TK needs to push new blood in AEW. Telling you. If Peak Mysterio was any bigger, he'd pop. No comment. Well, let's get back into this card. We get Orange Cassidy. He talks about the beatdown he suffered on Dynamite. Don't do those kicks anymore, Orange, especially when you're taped up. Moxley laid him out. He got mollywopped by Death Riders. Next up was MJF Roderick Strong. Gentlemen, not super invested into this. I don't know. Roderick Strong wearing those glasses and yelling Max and stuff like that. I feel like he needed to shred that I'm silly. I look like someone's grandpa. I don't know what he's going for here and yelling your name.
Yeah.
I think this match could have used it more. This was just a good wrestling match, though. Like it's Roderick Strong. He's your Dean Malenko, bro. That's how I view it. Like, and I mean that in the highest of respects. Shout out to E for sending me that November to Remember video package thing, because I looked at it, I was like, the shooter Dean Malenko in 1995. He was it, man. Like really good stuff. And I'm like, that's Roderick Strong. Short boots. No. Listen, that's all he needs to do. I'm not playing. I'm gonna slam you on your back a bunch of times.
Right.
Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish. Roderick Strong is not the worst of the Undisputed Era back in late 2020s, but late teens, but he's just not charismatic enough to carry. And I like him. I don't love him. And I like Adam, but that doesn't translate to Max or Conrad or Derek. It doesn't translate across the board. Like, Adam worked in that moment.
It did.
MJF cuts a strong promo. Get lots of good wrestling in this. And I'm talking about on that crowd. He buried New Jersey, but
yeah.
Come on, is it hard, guys? I mean, this is the dumpster of America, blah, blah, blah. He goes through his whole, the whole stick. he gets caught in the salt of the earth. He taps out to MJF. They Pillmanize his arm after. Kyle O'Reilly pushes down Adam Cole after he chased off MJF, like blaming him. To me, this is leading to the three of them teaming up. They're going to get him out of the conglomeration, come team up with us. That's who is going to have the big match against Pac, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta. That's what I think the setup is. Undisputed Elite.
Yep.
They could do it again. Sorry, Bobby.
They could.
See, Bobby Fish is just so bad that he's not going to be included. See, Roderick Strong's like on the teeter-totter. Like, Bobby Fish was just rough.
I mean, Bobby could be there in spirit.
There you go. That's about it. Don't let him talk. Don't let him talk.
That's just possible. That's it. After that, kind of a waste of space there.
Yes, sir.
Pro Wrestler Shoot, we're going to keep blaming the fans until AEW just ain't around. Well, I'm going to tell you this. The moment I hear anybody, it's going to probably take 2 or 3 years. The moment I hear someone say, man, I really wish they had competition, I'm going to be like, yo, where were you on Wednesday nights for Dynamite? Where were you? Don't say it to me. I promise you I'll bring it up. You know I don't forget. You better hope I forget one day because I have a good memory. The hate is strong sometimes in me when I'm like, don't ever bring that up in front of me again and say like, yeah, how come you didn't say that then? And fans do deserve the blame. I say this with video games. I say this with anything. Man, NBA 2K just ain't like it used to be. They should do this and fix this so the shooting's easier. They do that. Well, now it's not fair for these guys. Yo, you can't have it both ways, guys. Like, I don't know how to tell people that. Like, that's just it.
The cake goes when you start to eat it.
When are we going to blame the company for making bad decisions without saying, but WWE? When are we going to not let WWE off the hook for the disgusting things that they do and nobody ever, they're like, guys, it's okay over here.
Jesse, we love you, man, but that's not a good question. WWE deserves criticism just like AEW does.
Let me see here. Could have saved this match for weekly TV.
She's not wrong. Deanna's not wrong. Oh my God.
This match screamed Rampage. Worst he's had in a long time, MJF. He ain't been around. What are you going to build? There's only so much we could do watching you watch TV.
Not Rampage, but Dynamite.
You know what I mean? Strong match. Okay. Yeah, Conrad, I want AEW to be here too. I'm also supporting every single week, but you can't keep booking crappy TV and just expect people to stay.
But WWE does that.
Don't
every week, Derek. WWE does that exactly.
I criticize WWE every single week, but I'm not going to blame them all the time for AEW sucking.
Oh, I feel you, I'm not saying you're saying that either. I don't think that WWE is the reason why AEW needs to improve. I think sucks is a little bit strong.
I listen, I don't even think WWE is they're like we said, they're better. It's not that. It's I want you to be majorly better. We say this every week. You're here. Now you're here. Let's throw a party. Like
exactly.
I get it.
You got a C-. Last time you had a D+. You don't go to Chuck E. Cheese for that, kiddos.
And I know some people are like, well, you can't say but WWE, but when you're interfering in things, you can say it. I think it is fair to say it when you're playing these games or when you're not holding people to the same accountabilities that other people are holding other people to. Okay, who is this? Tamataga's here, huh? I thought you guys didn't know who these people were. You can't play dumb and then be like, oh, we got him. I digress. Moving forward, Kris Statlander, Mercedes Mone. What did you guys think of this match? Because I saw a lot of people giving it much praise. She kind of got her mojo back. Some people said best match since Stephanie McCurr. Do you agree, Derek? Or
yeah, I do. This was a really good match. Like
we were pretty into it towards the end. We were like, oh, maybe they are going to let Stat get this.
Yeah. Just to see Mercedes. Now, I will sit here and say wholeheartedly, not every Mercedes match has been good. Not every single one. Some of them have been good. Some of them have been, Some of them just like,
Yep.
hold on. This was a really good match for her. This was a really good match for Statlander. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. This match had me invested. Had this been a main event, I would not have been opposed to it. I would have welcomed this match as a main event match. Had that been that case, I'll argue that the whole way through. It was good to me.
What did you think of this, Sean?
Thought it was fantastic. I thought they really put on, and I think they both showed the world who they are. Mercedes Moné, bell to bell, is outstanding. Don't really like the character, but her chemistry with Kris Statlander was off the page, and I'm really proud of both of them for doing their thing. It was the match of the night, in my opinion.
Interesting. Let me see here. Yeah, really good stuff. Eventually, she got hung up on the ropes, basically caught herself, and then Mercedes beats her with a roll-up. Really good, though. Props to both ladies for going in and holding it down. Like I said, I don't think Mercedes has really had anything horrific either, like you had said. I think the expectations for her are higher than most, though. Like, people are like, oh, when you come in, I'm expecting you to deliver each and every time. So
just stop dancing. Stop dancing. You don't need to dance. We don't need. The CEO thing is played. Like, you're one of the best in the world when you just do your thing.
Are you saying to get rid of the gimmick?
Yes.
And what would her gimmick be then?
Sometimes you have to transfer things over. Sasha Banks was swag. Sasha Banks was sexy. Sasha Banks was cool. Sasha Banks was athletic. Sasha Banks was the boss. The CEO thing, sometimes it's like, okay, you know what? Here's ice cream, flavored ice cream. Like, it's like, I don't need ice cream on top of ice cream on top of ice cream on top of ice cream. Or to make it make more sense, I don't need ice cream with hot fudge and caramel and cherries and strawberries. It's like, ice cream was good enough. You were killing it in WWE. You had a falling out with them. We're happy that you left. We're happy you followed your dreams. You should have left, but your gimmick was amazing. Roll with it.
But I think that they own that gimmick, and I think so. They've said from the boss, okay, well, I'll be the CEO here.
Right. It doesn't have to. Right. I want to be clear. I'm not saying she could have brought over Sasha Banks. I'm saying Mercedes Moné. The name is fine. You know what I loved? I've always said this before, and Derek, I don't know if you agree. I told Connor this before. The stick that she had doing what she did when she crossed over the New Japan, that was dope for me.
So you think it's the music and everything else that needs to change? Go back to like the crisscross thing.
Well, I'm partial to the crisscross thing, but then again, was she dancing like that when she wasn't dancing like that. She wasn't doing all this stuff when she went to New Japan. She started that when she came to AEW.
I have a question then. Is the problem the right? Well, see what I'm saying? Because on one hand, we give the writers credit, whoever's writing the women's division stuff, which I believe it's the same person who Mercedes requested to get brought in. Mm-hmm. If she's writing the women's stuff, she's done a great job elevating the women to getting into better spots on the card, more matches and everything else. But she's also probably saying this is the gimmick for you. And there are these I'm trying not to get into this because I don't want the chat to get back into this. The WWE writing styles. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're in a car. I got to smash a car into you. And okay, why are we doing this?
Right.
You got to do some of that stuff too in their mind as well. So it's like, so does that stank rub over? Is that the problem? Is it Mercedes, or is it like, well, we want you to be this because you'll be able to sell these glasses, or you'll be able to sell this gear, and you can have a lot of toys made of you like this?
I just think, like I said, the ice cream with a million toppings is not necessary. I think that Mercedes Moné has been very much the word I was looking for. I just found it very much exaggerated. It's been taken to the nth degree, and it just didn't have to. Like, Mercedes Varanato, if I'm mispronouncing her name, forgive me, is an amazing professional wrestling talent that translates to any organization. I just think that she's doing too much, or somebody's telling her to do too much.
So my thing with her, I agree with you, Sean. I think the gimmick is exaggerated. The gimmick feels forced.
Mm-hmm.
When she does all the excessive dancing, all the excessive smiling.
Right.
I think that's too forced.
The laugh.
I got homework for both of you and myself. And Sean, I know we're going to watch this already because I think me and you both have ordered it already. I want to watch that New Japan show that she's going to be on.
Right.
I want to see, because I think the vibe is different when she's on the New Japan shows versus AEW. But what's the issue? I keep asking these questions, and I know it's not my job to answer these questions. Well, we're up here. This is what we talk about. This is what we do. Tell me what the differences are next time you see her. Tell me New Japan Mercedes and AEW Mercedes. What do they need to adopt then from New Japan? Or is it an overall issue with Mercedes over here, like outside of her previous organization? Just watch it. I'll leave it at that for now.
Right.
The way I'm picturing the gimmick to be, or how I would like to see it. When I think of her coming out as, the CEO, I kind of want to see her in a dumbed down Macho Man version. Like, I could see her. Okay, so the CEO is supposed to be over the boss, right? We got boss and then CEO.
Right.
Not expect, but I would like to see her come out like in a dumb, like we all remember how Macho Man used to come out.
Derek, I'm with you 100%. Keep going. I got you.
You see what I mean? Like, I feel like if she comes out and does that, but dumbed down, like don't copy Macho Man, but exuberate on that kind of.
Can I put it to you like the super kicks thing? Shawn Michaels did a great super kick, right? Good finisher all those years. Look at how the super kick is used today, though, because everybody admired Shawn. I think that's the same thing with Macho Man, though. Anytime I see someone do the point up, I'm like, oh, Macho Man. Right. Anytime I see you do the spin and turn, I'm like, that's Macho Man. Yeah. Even when I see the robe, who came out? QT Marshall with the Doom robe.
QT Marshall, yeah.
It was Macho Man-esque. MJF came out, Macho Man-esque. There's a lot of people who do it, so you're like, well, I'm trying to be different. But
no, I totally get it. But like, I would say mash up Macho, Shawn, and a little bit of Ric Flair, all in the same thing. Mash it up a little bit, like CEO.
Rob said she'll be the president in TNA and the chairwoman in MLW. Probably.
I think that's fairly accurate. Yeah.
Pert Mercedes with Stokely. I agree with T Ferg. I think that, or MVP. You could, if you want her to talk less.
Because am I on a limb when I say facts and Leezy? Am I out on a limb when I say that Mercedes Moné is not that great of a promo?
No,
she's not. She's not.
It's never been. I don't know what.
But didn't it seem better before? Maybe I missed something. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Can I go back to the WWE hat for a second? Boop, boop, boop. It's
right.
on. Yo, WWE programs these people to be a certain way. Listen, I'll say this every single time. 4 horsewomen. I can put each of them 1, 2, 3, and 4 in different categories in each thing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what they're the best at? Mercedes, to me, had the best matches. Best in ring. She gets the whole, this is how I'm a superstar. Charlotte has the legacy in the in-ring down perfectly. Mm-hmm. She goes in, she knows how to use the name that she's got, and she plays off of it. Becky Lynch, best talker of the 4 of them. Easily. Hands down. Best well-rounded, Bayley. Done. But we all know their weaknesses as well. Charlotte, robotic promos. It's just that, and leans on and relies on sometimes the championships too much. Becky Lynch, in ring, nah, fam, I'm good. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but most of the time, she has some good matches. I'm not saying that's all bad.
You thought that right.
In comparison, you could go through each of them and just find their weaknesses. That's all I'm saying. And to me, Mercedes, it's always been here, cut a promo. It's like, yeah okay.
Well, my favorite match from Becky is her and Doudrop.
Fired.
Why?
Fired.
That match was fired.
Moving on, folks. Moving on to Hangman Page. Just because you even said that name, we're moving on. WWE stuff's done for the rest of the show. Hangman Page versus Jay White. This was a straight up wrestling match. They got back and forth. Sean, I thought they were going to do it, my friend. I thought they were going to go 50-50 booking. And I was like, well, maybe then they'll. I put this on Blue Sky. I was like, maybe then they'll resolve it in the Continental Classic. Tony Khan was like, nah, Jay White wins again.
Jay White, you're going over again. Right.
Jay White wins again. I loved it. I thought it was the right call.
I did
Thumbs up
too.
for me.
It was the right call.
You
I
don't,
did
you have to 50-50 everything. And I respect that. I was like, good on you for not doing it.
I'm with Enleezy. I was shocked that Jay White won, but I'm actually very happy that he won. I thought that was the right call.
He's going to be bragging about that again. Like, you still can't beat me, kid. All right? So that's enough of you talking to me like that.
Right.
I liked it. It was cool. Christopher Daniels got beat up after, too. So I wonder what that's leading to. Hangman's in a weird spot. Hangman beat Swerve, and now we're in like this, like, you can't get it done. Is it because he's so focused on Swerve? Is it because he's thinking about other things? Like, it's interesting.
I think
this is the most interesting Hangman's been since he won the championship from Kenny Omega.
I think this would be a situation where Renee Paquette will dig deep into, or at least I would dig deep into, Hangman. Ever since you beat Swerve, you haven't really bounced back.
Right.
What else is going on?
And you could, if that's the story. See, I don't know where they're going with Hangman. It's very, very thought-provoking.
I would make that the story. I would actually elaborate on it and be like, listen, after you fought Hangman and Swerve and won, I feel like you've kind of fallen into a void of like depression here. Like you seem depressed and you're out of touch with reality right now. What's really happening?
I like what Clown said here. Hangman could spiral even further to win. And then Cray saying Hangman needs to be Triple H 2000. Let me see here. I think the reason a lot of these characters fail in AEW is because it's pretty much I don't know if you meant to write thunk or think. It's pretty much sink or swim. WWE has director, scripts, acting coaches. AEW exposes who can really shine. Fair point. Sean, what did you think? I saw you were about to say something before.
Yeah, I was just about to say that to piggyback off of Derek's point, why not have a segment where Hangman's talking to a therapist? See, this is where I'm getting into the stuff that you guys might think is a little bit corny, but I'm trying to sell tape. This is Sean Hubbard wanting AEW to be successful. I would have a segment where Hangman starts talking to a therapist and starts expressing himself and talking about what turned him into this deranged, crazy person. And why winning, to Derek's point, why winning against Swerve hasn't been enough to snap him back into the Hangman he was before. Like, I thought I'd be better once I beat Swerve, but something still isn't right with me. That's good TV.
Yeah, I would actually go even further to say there's a bigger story behind it.
Right.
Well, you gotta have that part written too. But I hear you. That's the buildup. It's the threading. This is what we talk about every week. Like, you gotta have it. You gotta get from point A to point B, but there's A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Okay, now we're at B. That's the stuff I think that could be the issues.
Maybe Hangman's having issues because he has a love interest in AEW that is dealing with someone else at the current moment, and we have to figure out who that is.
Right.
Who's Hangman talking about? Is he in love with Britt Baker DDS? Well, that might cause a problem between him and Adam Cole. Like, let's mix it up. I know it sounds stupid, but then again, is it stupid? We're trying to sell tickets here.
Honestly, I have an idea, but I'll talk to y'all about that after.
Hey, Jesus says we got some breaking news. Daniel Garcia announces he's in the C2. There we go. We got our first person revealed.
Oh wait, we gotta run that back.
What? Garcia?
No,
Jesus. De Leon. Bam! Look at that. Didn't even have to look. Yes. The rest of the C2 will be said tomorrow. Me and Sean will probably cover that for you on Clash of the Podcast this Monday at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys are all tuned in. Going forward, Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay. This was probably my match of the night. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed this one a lot, but there's another one that also struck me personally that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. It's Will Ospreay. It's fantastic. What else can I say about this? It was great. Billy Goat's the man, and yeah, Kyle Fletcher wins with the top rope brainbuster. He put him over clean.
Yeah,
The best bell-to-bell product in the industry today, and these two men proved why. AEW has the best bell-to-bell product in the industry today.
Man, Kyle Fletcher's 25, bro. You may have a star on your hands here.
Yeah.
If you hold it down right.
Yeah.
That's what
if you don't want to beat this guy and you have to hide him on Ring of Honor for a while, I'm okay with that. Do that. Yeah. It's fine. Let him go over there then and dominate. But do that then. Fantastic match. I think Kyle Fletcher's stock has went up. Me and Sean have done segments before. Stock up or stock down? Kyle Fletcher's stock is up, in my opinion. We haven't done that in a while. We should do it again. But absolutely perfect. Like I loved how this match turned out. Mark Davis came out at the end to check on his friend Will, and they were like, "Good, you deserve each other." I still don't fully believe Mark Davis hasn't seen that the grass is greener yet on the Don Callis side of things.
I think there's a bigger story behind that story also.
Well, unless they don't want him to team with him, though, because he's outshined his partner now, and it's like, well, do you need them as a tag team? There's questions here.
See, I'll share that one.
Yeah.
I think this feud is bigger than what it is between him and Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's his partner who has to take him down. That's what I feel. I feel like his partner has to take him down because Will Ospreay is my guy, without a doubt. But I feel like, oh my God, what's his name?
Oh, Kyle Fletcher.
Not Kyle Fletcher.
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis, yes. I feel like Mark Davis has to make this feud implode between the two of them, not with Will Ospreay.
The hard part is making Mark Davis have you got to have some type of care for him. He's been gone for so long, and
you do.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out, man. Let's give it, like I said, let's wait till next Dynamite. That's all you can do with some of this stuff. Clown says, not a therapist, but a bartender fits his character better. I kind of like that too.
I'm not mad at it. That wouldn't be bad either. So that's cool. Bartender. The story needs to be told about why he's been so. The story needs to be told about why he's still deranged after winning against Swerve. Winning against Swerve was supposed to cure everything, right? But it hasn't. We need an explanation.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, I have the idea, or at least my idea as to who it should be.
Okay. Save it. You better remember this when it's time. Mariah May, Mina Shirakawa, champagne celebration. They're out there. They're drinking champagne. Mariah May had the champagne bottle in her hand, ready to clock her. Mina caught it. And in the open-toe sandals, busted that bottle. She was ready for that action. Spears her through a table. First table didn't break. I am the table. And down they go. Mouth came up bleeding. Rubs the blood all over Mariah May's head. Looks like this is the next feud. People are digging Mina.
I like Mina. I haven't seen her wrestle yet, but I like Mina.
I think it's got some other reasons why. I won't get into what those are probably for some people, but good on them for this. I think you've got your match for World's End, possibly.
My only issue with it is what would be the determining factor to create this feud?
They're former friends / lovers that are about to beef over this championship. Because I think that Grand Slam Australia show is Toni Storm's showcase again. Like, you're in this. Because she's been on a lot of the marketing things. Am I wrong in thinking this, Sean?
You're not wrong. There's some key elements about why this is happening. I'm with you. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, thank you. We'll leave it at that. It's 1 a.m. Let your mind wander.
On a Sunday. Yes.
Juke, what's good? I see you in there, bro.
But let me give you my 2 cents though. I do think it was stupid.
The segment?
Uh-huh.
Why?
So is Mariah May just gonna turn on every female in her life? Every friend that she has? That's her gimmick. Her gimmick is you're my friend and I turn on you randomly for no reason. That's gonna be her thing.
What use was
that doesn't make any sense.
What use she uses you? What use is Mina to her now? You help bring Tony Storm closer to me. Thank you. You're done, Tony. Goodbye. Now, Mina, I don't really need you anymore. I got what I wanted.
I guess that was kind of the turn was kind of mid though. It was kind of mid to me. It was like, okay, so now it's like, okay, now they're gonna fight. Like it was like when she took the battle, I didn't get the whole like, oh, like the crowd reacted, but it wasn't like this mega response. It was like, it was kind of mixed between like, oh, and kind of like, huh? It was weird.
I was okay with it because I don't think people want to see Mina turn heel either. You know?
No.
How's the baby face and the heel?
Gotta let it burn a little bit, man. You gotta let it burn.
Maybe they could have kept them together a little bit longer, a little bit to.
You're gonna crack her over there with a bottle for what? It's stupid.
Going into it, we're gonna move on to the next segment just for time's sake. This was the other match I was talking about, but this was personal investment. This was the whole Daniel Garcia hasn't been able to do it. Daniel Garcia versus Jack Perry. People are getting powerbombed through tables in this one. Garcia doing a lot of Kurt Angle kickouts tonight too. And what I mean by Kurt Angle kickouts, 1, 2, keep going, brother. Kickouts.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were gambling a lot. I know 90% of them were good kickouts, but I'm like, y'all gambling. Be careful. I tell the ref count 3. All right, you lost, bro. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kick
Sorry.
out. Jack Perry in this match hit a low blow and had me thinking he was about to win. And when Garcia kicked out, I was like, here we go. Buffalo, baby. 716, stand up.
There you go.
When he finally got him and he started slapping him, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's game over, man. It's game over. Locks in the sharpshooter, goes back. He calls it the Dragon Tamer. Locks in the Dragon Tamer. Jack Perry has nowhere to go but to tap out. I'm with it. Garcia wins. Happy for the brother.
Yes.
That's just me. Buffalo bias in there. See, I admit it.
I'm not mad at the ending. I predicted that Jack Perry would retain. I predicted he'd be the never-ending TNT champion, and I'm very, very happy I was wrong. Garcia winning that match made me feel good. That was cool. That was real cool.
I was just happy to see Jack Perry lose.
That's hate, folks. Moving on. A last-minute addition to the card, but glad it was here. Konosuke Takeshita Ricochet. I'm not going to get into this. Sasuke specials. F Don Callis chants.
Jesus.
Ricochet went for the vertigo, but he got countered into the drop down. Top rope Falcon Arrow for the win. This match was important, I feel, and it was more so story. This match was on here, so it was like, here, Ricochet, you're gonna finally get your chance to go after this title. It shows Ricochet's willing to play ball. Number one, he's like, well, at least I'm on pay-per-views over here. I don't think I'm mad about that, but I think that this is the turn that I've been telling you about, Sean. The brother looks good in suits. MVP wears suits. Be over there with these boys, man. Like, that's where you need to be.
Right.
Put him over there. Ricochet hasn't been doing 630s. He's been doing that, oh, I'm safe. Here's a head scissor. Yep. You got it. Flip up. Boom. Ricochet can do way more than that. You know that. The chat knows that. Anyone who's got these earphones in listening to this right now on audio platforms knows that. Leave a 5-star review. You know that. So stop playing these games, and we need to get Ricochet over there. I don't know if it's going to happen right away, but this is the beginning threads, I think, to put him with, because one of Sean's issues with this guy is don't give this brother a mic. Guess who's got it for him? I'm MVP. This brother will do a 630 on you right now and there. Go get him. I'm tired of talking. Boom, boom, boom. Him and Sean can put a beat down on somebody.
And correction, my brother. Correction. It's not one of the problems I have. It's the only problem I have with him. The only problem, it just happens to be a big one. If you can't talk, you're not going to be good in this business. Like, I think Ricochet is fantastic. I think Ricochet is the classic 4-tool player. But the tool that he doesn't have is very important. Baseball players, you're a 5-tool player if you can field, hit with power, hit period, run, and catch, right? He can catch, he can run, he can hit for power, but the last one, he doesn't got. And it's very important. Ricochet is one of the worst promos in the industry. Please join the Hurt Syndicate. Please. I'm begging you.
Let it shine, bro. I think that's the move. That's the move. Matt Lopez said, "Good night, Timu Raven. Go cry in the corner." Wow. Wow. Back to that November rain. Moving up next, we got Swerve Strickland, Bobby Lashley. I really like the Hurt Syndicate stuff. Some people I've heard say they don't. Like, I believe Jesse has mentioned to me he's not really feeling it. I like the Hurt Syndicate stuff. Swerve, I think, is fantastic. I thought this was the right call. And going in, this is one of the better build matches, I thought. Like, when we're talking about the build being bad or you didn't enjoy some stuff, this is the one where I'm like, but I love this.
Yeah.
I thought this was really good.
Yo, if he thinks that Ricochet is a good promo, then he's in the minority. I'm just reading the comments. He's saying I'm exaggerating about Ricochet's promo skills. If he thinks that Ricochet is a good promo, then he's in the minority.
I don't think that he's let me say this. I feel I'm in the middle with where both of you are saying this. I don't think Ricochet is awful, but I think where Ricochet comes from, it's just sometimes Ricochet says stuff and you're like, do you believe that, Ricochet? Or you just like, I feel like he knows what to say. It just doesn't come off that way. I don't know. I'm not saying that he's an awful promo though. Like, is he fine? Is he okay? Cool. But you're saying if he wants to be at that top level, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you could be like, if you're trying to tool those 5 tools, right? The best way to do it, put them with MVP. I'll help you with this. It's like getting coaches for a specific thing.
I'll take it a step further. Ricochet could be AEW World Heavyweight Champion if he was able to cut a decent promo.
Yeah.
I think Ricochet suffers from the same thing that Hangman suffers from when Hangman makes a promo. Hangman's promos feel forced when he says things. Ricochet's promos don't feel forced, but I feel like he has to have a certain aura about himself to deliver that. And it's like, well, I'm Ricochet.
Well,
like it sounds like you're trying to rap at the same time that you're trying to talk. Stop it.
And I want to put this on the Eras thing too, though. Remember, no competition for how many years? 20 years, right? A little less than that, but about that time, right? 2 decades almost. Most people in WWE sound wooden as hell. They're reading scripts, or no one in real life talks like that. Or how do you get better without getting reps? That's true too. You can't get better even if you're bad. It's like, well, you got to hand me the microphone eventually. Like, or it doesn't matter if you cut great promos and know that red light's not on. When the red light's on, you got to deliver. That's the difference in all of this. Christian coached a few sons that couldn't talk, and they all had reps. Him and Stokely would be good if they don't want him in the Hurt Syndicate. Stokely needs something to do. I really agree with that. Like, Stokely needs something to sink his teeth into. That's why I think Mercedes might be really good for him to have. But I would like Stokely to have a whole faction of people. Like, this is Stokely's team. This is MVP's team. Right. This is Mark Sterling's team. Like, you got to have people for these managers to be around. Going back to this, though, I want to go through this match. This isn't anything crazy in this match. Spear, Hurt Lock. I thought it was successful, debut for Bobby Lashley. They beat up Prince Nana afterwards. And I kind of want to get into the aftermath part more.
Let's do it.
Could you see Swerve getting back up? Because that's what it looked like he needed tonight. You had Shelton tripping him, MVP's on the outside. He only has Nana. And who could you have back him up? And Rob offered the name Keith Lee. Like, maybe Keith Lee returns and he's like, yo, bro, I need your help with this. And maybe he's with them. Maybe he's like, nah, I'm joining MVP too. I'm over here with these guys. You could do that. Or EJ, who came out with him in Buffalo and in several other places. He's from former NXT protege. We've seen him in Ring of Honor too. Why not? Why not try to build some people up? Maybe Swerve needs a crew to go up against these guys because he's outnumbered.
I agree. You definitely need some people to rock with him. No question about that. Who? I don't know. I mean, how about Ricochet joining up with him? If they didn't want to do the Hurt Syndicate, how about he joins up with him? Then Swerve could do the talking for the both of them.
I think that might be the big turning point too for him. Like that might be the okay. I'm really with y'all. Like, yeah, sorry, Swerve, you got to get this beat down, bro.
Yeah, that would be dope.
And it would lead to some great matches. It reminds me of Prince Puma, who was in Lucha Underground. Great wrestler, great talker, 5-star matches. If you've never seen Prince Puma, go check him out. Fantastic. That's Ricochet for the record. For those who don't know, it's Ricochet underneath the mask, but really good stuff. You know why it worked for him? Didn't have to talk.
Didn't have to say a word.
Didn't have to because all his talking was in the ring. It worked beautifully. And if you never saw Swerve played a character over there called Killshot. He wore a mask. He was in the military. Fantastic. Go check out some of the matches that they put on over there. Really good stuff. So that's a few that you could have. And we're here now. We're at the main event. I'm not going through this whole thing. We know what it was. Orange Cassidy, Jon Moxley. Blood was a-flowing. Head stomp on the steel steps. We get reminiscence of last year with orange punches to open up. Like I said, head stomp, he's bleeding. And then we get a beach break. And then here comes the interference. Here comes Claudio. Here comes Pac. Marina Shafir's out there already with the key around her neck with the briefcase. There's no title. Whatever's the briefcase is holding is what this has to deal with. What that is, I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to represent that he's got this title locked up and you can't see it for now. Maybe it'll make it more valuable once they reveal it. Maybe they're getting a new belt. I don't know what this is. There's more questions than answers with this. Everyone gets beat down, neutralized by the conglomeration, and Wheeler Yuta. That dirty. What I tell you about Wheeler Yuta many, many years ago. Can't trust him. Running me.
No good.
No good, Captain Planet. You littered. I want to fight you on Collision and Rampage. He does all the dirty work. Death Rider DDT to Orange, just as it should have been. They then take out, I don't know if they brought out Windex. I don't know what this stuff was. They dump it on Orange. He's writhing. They're kicking him, and Orange can't. He's like selling that more like the whatever they dumped on him.
Probably Gatorade, but they sold it.
Yeah. Don't ruin this, Sean.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were being I apologize.
Keep kayfabe alive. So
it was definitely Windex. Excuse me.
Yeah, smelled like window cleaner in there. That's all. I needed JR to say that. Anybody smell Windex? Come on, that's our family. They're kicking him, and this is where I think it got interesting. It was the aftermatch. Afterwards, here comes Hangman with a chair. Like, what are you doing out here, bro? He comes out. Adam Page chases everyone off. Then Christian comes out, and he's got the contract. He's like, yo, I'm about to cash in. Hangman holds on to it. They kill a lot of time with it. It's like they're money in the bank. See these tropes I'm talking about? I've got a contract. Nope. And you would think he's about to cash in. He's looking around. He wastes too much time. And then Jay White had to get his lick back every time. Blade Runner on Christian. He said, I told you. By the way, smooth Blade Runner because the contract like rolled into his arm. And then he was like, yeah, what I tell you?
I was dope. It
was beautiful. Out they go. So now they're running. The heels skedaddle. Like, we're out of here. Moxley's got a towel on his head. He's like, oh, God, I got blood on me. I'm trying to get out of here. Get me out of here. They're running towards their pickup car that they've been doing for weeks and weeks and weeks. T-boned. Where's the story? It's right here. Where's the scenes? Where's the investment? It should be right here. T-bones the car. Darby Allin is the person inside the car. He comes out like a maniac after. They get all the keys from the valet. They press every button until the car in front of them lights up. Grab the keys. Let's go. We're out of here. And then they speed off. Darby gets a skateboard. He could barely get on the car because he T-boned it so bad. And he's smashing it with the skateboard. He says, I'm not blankety blank, blank, blank. I'm not even going to repeat it because I'm sure Tony Khan was probably like, yo, you can't say that. Like,
it's pay-per-view.
It is, but Tony's probably like, yo, don't say that. Right. So he smashes up everything, and he's like, "Oh, Darby's bleeding," and they go off the air in chaos. End scene. I thought it was good. I'm more intrigued than I was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I think to me, I think that's why the pay-per-view doesn't sit higher than it should, because for so long we had 1, 2, 3 matches that we talked about for so long, but but we didn't emphasize any of the other matches that were on there. I mean, granted, yes, one was thrown in. Take it. Sometimes you got to have a backup plan. But the build was really focused on Hangman, Jay White, Swerve, Lashley.
Orange too, though.
And Orange and Mox. So that was like your three. I mean, yeah, well, you could say four because you could say Mercedes and Statlander, but those three were really heavily emphasized.
And I think Orange's hard problem is the character sometimes because he's not supposed to care. But then you're like, oh, well, I don't care about wrestling, but I'm pretty good at it. And I'm like, what? What are you saying, bro? Like, no, you need to come out. And I think Orange's character needs to change. Yeah. Orange should be lackadaisical until he gets mad. Now he's like, yo, I'll beat you in this ring. I know I can beat you.
That's what's happening right now.
No, but he's got to watch the things he says. Okay. Like, he didn't think when he did that promo, I don't know if they wrote that out or if he forgot what he wanted to say and he just said that. But I was like, what do you mean you don't like to wrestle? But then you're like, but I'm really good at it. And I'm the best. Like, then why are you doing this? It makes you question things sometimes. You know what I mean? And I know maybe I'm tripping up over every single word that he said, but I thought that was a big line. And then they kind of, what'd you think, Sean?
I like Orange Cassidy in this particular way. I mean, I have no problem with him. The main event you're talking about, bro, I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. The match bell to bell, once again, like a broken record, the best bell to bell product in the business. I thought they put on the match was fantastic, but the aftermath was just weird. It was weird. It's like here comes Christian or here comes Hangman, then here comes Christian, and like the reaction for help me out, the one who beat up Christian. The reaction for Jay White was not good by the fans. The fans were disappointed because they wanted Christian to cash in. That's the thing. It's like you have to read the room, y'all. Like Christian got the pop, and then Jay White ruined it. But Jay White's supposed to be the babyface.
Is this the Shane McMahon stuff, though? Too. Well, I think people have an unrealistic expectation with this, and they're like trying to.
I'm with you. I hear you. I'm not discounting what you're saying, but Conrad, Derek, what I'm saying to you is. Simply from a fan perspective, I'm watching the episode. I'm watching this episode. That's what it felt like. That was a Freudian slip. It felt like an episode of Dynamite. But I'm watching the pay-per-view. I see Christian come out after Hangman, right? I'm excited. Christian's about to cash in. I'm actually excited. And then Jay comes out and ruins it, and I'm not excited anymore. Jay was supposed to be the babyface. The fans booed Jay White in that moment. Did you guys not notice that? They booed him. That's a problem. Things are getting mixed up. Things are getting jumbled. But it's like Jay White was supposed to get, according to the storyline, Jay White was supposed to get cheered in that moment. It didn't happen.
Can I go back to my original thing that I said, though? You're sending mixed messages. I don't want Hangman to beat him. I don't want 50. Okay, Jay White wins. Yay, we're happy. Wait, why is Jay White out here for Christian? You get what I'm saying, though? You're sending two different things. You're saying, I like Jay White. I don't like Jay White here.
But you have to read the room. I think that is fair. I think that's fair.
Can I keep going, though? You wanted long-term booking. Christian and Jay White is long-term booking. You took the trio title from us because you're a jerk. Like, you screwed my whole squad out of this. Now you're like...
Conrad, the problem is, and Derek, let me know what you think also. The problem is this, guys. Everything I'm saying, unfortunately, had to be played out in order to find out that what I'm saying is right. What do I mean by that? Nobody who wrote this stuff knew that Jay White would get booed when he interfered in trying to stop Christian from cashing in. Nobody knew that. Unfortunately, that is how it played out, though. And that's not good optics. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I could say it's fair.
That's where I'll leave it. It wasn't anybody's fault because nobody thought that Jay White would be booed. But unfortunately, that's the way it worked out, and that's not good optics because when Christian was about to cash in, the crowd cheered.
I have feelings on optics and how people feel about things.
Okay.
I share it with some people, one that I just saw recently, and I'll tell you guys after we end this, because when it happens, I just want you guys to be like, yo, Conrad did tell us that night after the Full Gear pay-per-view. You could just say it on the show. Just be like, yeah, Conrad did mention something about that. Remember what I'm about to tell you guys after this. Sean, we won't get too deep into it, Derek. We won't get too deep into it. Maybe we can come together and we could do something, even with BJ or somebody, and try to have like a State of the Union AEW address again. I know that makes some people mad and some people love them, but maybe we'll try to talk about them and things that we think we can see to improve it again. Other than that, man, overall show, me and Derek talked about it. We were in the range of like B+.
Yeah.
Solid show, like good show, but I'm not saying it's their best of the year. It was a good show.
Well, Godspeed to both of you. Like C-. I was very disappointed this evening. Very. And I love AEW. I'm going to say it for the 27th time. The best bell-to-bell product in the industry. But tonight fell flat. I was not happy. Even Darby Allin being the person who ran somebody over with the car. It was like, okay, so Darby Allin's out. So Darby Allin's the big reveal for like the person who, like, that was weak, bro. I'm not capping. Like that was weak. The Jay White interference with the cash-in was weak. The cash-in attempt was good, but it got ruined. Hangman interfering was just weird and confusing. And then Darby Allin's the way the show ends. I'm going C-. I was disappointed.
I respect it.
We'll let this simmer. I'm gonna probably try and go back and listen to the scrum while we put together some of our stuff. We'll leave it at that. Me and Derek will be live Wednesday if you want to talk some more AEW and see the fallout from Dynamite on here. Me and Sean are going to be live, though. We're going to be talking Survivor Series and probably Full Gear. And if anything else crazy pops off tomorrow, or maybe we're probably going to be talking SmackDown too, and the Bloodline whole thing, the 5-on-5. We're going to get into it, the War Games match. Looking forward to it. So, with that being said, for myself, tag team partner Sean Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Make sure that you guys are. I don't know what I just pressed. Sorry, I just fat fingered something. There it is. Sorry. Keep Sean's beautiful face on there so you don't have to look at me. Make sure that you guys are following, subscribing, and I'm putting Sean's link in there if you guys want to follow his YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Sean, do you have anything else you want to say? You want to take us out?
God bless you, boys. I'm not taking us out on your show, brother. I know you guys have a tagline on your way out, man. I'm not going to step on your toes, but thank you guys for having me. God bless you both. Be easy, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
For myself, for Derek, and Sean Hubbard, we are out with this AEW Full Gear review, and we will catch you guys all on the next one.